Today we're doing a single-track bypass barn door installation for a laundry room. This video is supplementary to the installation instructions, so please follow them when doing your installation. First, find and mark the locations of the studs along the wall where you plan on mounting the track. If the pre-drilled holes in the track don't line up with the studs, then you'll want to mount a header board, which is what we did. Then, measure the height of the door you will be installing. Determine the mounting height of the track by taking your door height and adding 1 7/8 inches. Measure that distance from the floor and mark it on your wall or header board. Using a long level, draw a horizontal line along the length of the track at the point you just marked. Now, if your track is 8 feet or longer, you're going to need to splice the tracks together using the junction plate, like this. With the help of another person, lift the track up to the wall with the line running through the center of the pre-drilled holes on your track. If you are not using a header board, the holes must align with your studs. Mark the center point of the pre-drilled holes. Then, drill out the holes at the location of the marks you just made. Next, mount the door stoppers on the track and tighten the screws. Screw the lag bolt into the first pre-drilled hole like this. Then do the same thing at the other end of the track. Repeat for the remaining spacer holes and then tighten all of the lag bolts firmly once the last one is in place. Now let's prepare the doors to be hung. First, cut a channel in the bottom of the door to accommodate the fin guide. Draw a straight line at the middle point along the length of the bottom of your door. Using a router, cut a channel along the length of the door using the line as a guide. Next, you'll mount the hangers to the inner door. Start by cutting a block of wood 1 7/8 inches in height. Measure and mark the placement location of the hanger so that both hangers are the same distance from the edge of the door. Place the hanger with the strap on the front of the door and then put the block between the top of the door and the hanger wheel. Clamp the hanger down and drill out the mounting holes. Insert the long bolt from the back of the door and secure it on the front of the hanger using the acorn nut and tighten firmly. Repeat these steps for the remaining hanger. Place the anti-jump pad on the top of the door next to the hanger and secure it with a screw. Repeat the same process next to the other hanger. Make sure that the anti-jump pads are sticking out over the front of the door. Next, you'll mount the bypass hangers to the outer door. Measure and mark the placement location of the hanger so that both hangers are the same distance from the edge of the door. The closer to the edge of the door that you mount the hangers, the less overlap you will have between the doors. The further in they are mounted, the more overlap you will have. Place the bypass hanger on the front of the door and mark the center of the mounting holes. Drill out the mounting holes at the points where you just marked. Insert the long bolt from the back of the door and secure it on the front of the hanger using the acorn nut and tighten firmly. Repeat these steps for the remaining hangers. Next, mount the anti-jump brackets to the back of the bypass hangers. Now it's time to mount the outer door guide on the front of the inner door. You'll want to mount it on the side of the inner door that will overlap with the outer door. Start by placing the small part of the outer door guide on the front of the inner door, with the arm of the guide pressed up against the bottom of the door. Mark out the center point of the mounting holes, drill them out, and then fasten the guide with the wood screws. Place the large part of the guide below the arm of the smaller part and attach them with the small screws and nuts. With the help of a second person, lift the inner door up and rest the wheels on the track so that the groove of the wheel fits on the track. To install the floor guide for the inner door, make sure the door is in the open position. Place the guide in the channel and use a level to ensure the door is plumb. Mark the mounting location, drill out the holes, and secure the guide by screwing it in place. Then lift up the outer door and place it on the track, overlapping the first one, with the guide fitting inside the groove on the outer door. And that concludes our barn door installation. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. Whether you are still planning or in the middle of your installation, Dusty's Rustic Rolling Doors is there for you at every stage of your project.